Hello, welcome to the Performance Centre here at Howley Hall Golf Club in Leeds, where today I'm taking a look at the brand new Apex hybrids from Callaway Golf. Hi there, I'm Ryan Rastall, PGA professional here at Howley Hall Golf Club and equipment expert for Golfshake.com. Now, I've got these Apex hybrids to have a bit of a try with, hit them here on the Trackman, but before we do that, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. See loads more content from all of us here at Golfshake to help you play more and play better. Now, those of you that will have seen videos I've done in the past know that I don't have the greatest love in the world for hybrids, but I've just never been able to use them very well. I always tend to hit them left, and yeah, they just don't really suit my eye. I'm more of a long iron kind of player and always have been, really. But you know, I'm open to trying and see whether these can persuade me otherwise. But let's talk a bit about the technology of these. So many of you will have seen the videos we've done on the brand new Apex iron range, and these hybrids have come out to complement those as well. So maybe in the top end of your set, you might want to replace those longer irons with a hybrid golf club, as they're generally easier to hit, easier to get off the ground, easier to launch, and also a bit more forgiving when we don't hit the middle of the club face. Now, if we talk about technology, now in these new this new range, so we've seen the new Epic range as well, and the new Apex iron. The new Epic range features this AI velocity blade technology, which we see here in the Apex hybrid. So that is basically the jailbreak technology that we've seen previously, but it's been modified. Obviously, they've used AI technology as well to help make sure that it's performing as well as it can do. And it's not just about hitting the golf club in the middle of the face. It's all about, if we don't hit the middle, can we still get the ball speed closer to a centered strike? And when we look at the velocity blade here, it's been angled slightly to help do that. Now, it works really nicely with the flash face. So the AI flash face, which SS21 is what it's called, again using artificial intelligence to help design the face. We can see on the back of the club face there how there's kind of bumps and thicker and thinner parts of the face there, because Callaway have really done lots of research on where the type of players these are aimed at mishit it, really. So making sure that these products perform when we don't hit the middle of the face, and it's that consistency when we're inconsistent kind of story that flows all the way through this product line really this year. And as I've said, I'm pretty excited to test these, because I'm not someone who traditionally would go to a hybrid, but as you can see, we've got two very, very different models. Now, if I talk about the standard Apex to start with, so this is designed for that player who needs higher launch, maybe struggles to get the ball in the air, wants a bit more forgiveness, and it's also adjustable. We can see it's got that dual cog system that Callaway used to help slightly adjust the loft and also the draw and fade bias on the head as well. So we can see it's a slightly bigger footprint, it's much larger behind it, and kind of more akin to a fairway wood, really, and certainly will be easier to launch than the equivalent in an iron. So if you're a player who maybe struggles with striking the ball consistently or wants some help getting the ball in the air, this could be the one for you. Now, when we compare that to the Apex Pro, so this is kind of aimed at your more kind of traditionalist or maybe more classic kind of ball striker type of player, someone who wants more of an iron-like feel, look and ball flight. And certainly when you sit it behind the ball, it's a much smaller footprint, as you'll see as we sit it down. Now, it's got a forged 455 steel face, and also it's just that more, like I say, iron-like appearance when it sits behind it. It's not quite as imposing as it sits on the ground, not as big and chunky. And certainly I'm kind of warming to it a little bit. I'm kind of trying to get my head around the fact that hitting long irons is really hard, and that maybe a hybrid in my bag might be a nice introduction. And this is the nicest looking one I've seen for a bit, so I'm really interested to trying it on the Trackman and see exactly how it performs. Now, we're also going to get out on the golf course and test these, weather permitting, because it's not been that great lately. But yeah, we're going to get out there, hopefully play a few holes with these and see exactly how they go. Now, I actually a few weeks ago got to meet some of the guys from Callaway at the Belfry, and I got to take a full bag of the new stuff out onto the golf course. One of them being this club. I only hit it the once, but it was probably one of the better shots I'd hit all day. It was a second shot on a par 5, which led to a birdie. So I'm interested to put it through its paces a little bit more and see exactly how it performs for me here on the Trackman, but also out on the golf course. So let's go hit some. So let's take a little bit of a look at how these hybrids are performing. So we've hit obviously both the Apex and Apex Pro here, just on the Trackman in the room, hit quite a few shots with each of them. And then I've gone back and just hit 3, what I'd class as pretty standard strikes with each one. So on here we can see, as you would expect, the standard Apex is that little bit higher in terms of the ball flight, a bit more spin as well. And the distance, because of that spin, it is a little bit shorter. Now the ball speeds are pretty similar, within sort of 1 mile an hour of each other, but you can see the carries are quite different, and the total distances are a little bit different as well. So we can see with the Max, we're average carry 225, 240 pretty much total distance, 232 with Pro, and 254 pretty much total. So we're getting about another, 13, 14 yards in terms of total distance with the Pro, but we would expect that, really. I mean, this golf club is designed more for someone like myself, who's going to have a little bit higher club head speed and maybe wants that slightly lower ball flight, more penetrating sort of ball flight, whereas the Apex is really aimed at that kind of player who needs that help getting the ball airborne, so it's trying to do that a little bit for you. They're both exactly the same loft and everything, so when we've tried those, it's fairly comparable. But yeah, you can see they're doing exactly what we'd expect them to do. So standard Apex, that little bit higher launching and spinning, and Apex Pro, obviously with that slightly smaller profile, we're getting lower spin, lower launch, and a little bit more distance really because of that. But both very, very nice to hit, both quite forgiving really. I mean, particularly some that I hit with the standard Apex, I hit a little bit toey, and the distances that we're getting were pretty good. And yeah, I mean, slightly swaying me a little bit towards hybrids, because the Apex Pro particularly, which is the one I think I would use if I ditch some of my longer irons, it actually doesn't look really big and bulky like most hybrids do. It actually looks quite nice and sleek behind the ball. But the biggest thing is the forgiveness. Those of you that know, if you miss-hit a 3-iron or a 2-iron, you know about it. You can feel it in your fingers for probably about 2 days afterwards. But with these, I've hit some, not out the middle of the face, but getting really good results, which is obviously what these clubs are aimed to do. We can see that technology in the flash face and the jailbreak blades in there that are really helping to make sure that when we don't hit the middle of the face, we're still getting decent ball speed and distance. So it's great to see them here on the Trackman. Now let's get outside, let's test them out there on the golf course and see if we're seeing exactly the same as this. So we've made it outside. As you can hear, not ideal conditions. It's a bit crunchy and a bit snowy underfoot, but we're going to put these hybrids to the test out here on the golf course. Now, we've obviously seen some decent numbers inside when we tested them on the Trackman. It's always good to get out here, even in this sort of weather, to see how they perform in a proper golfing situation. So I'm on the par 5 16th here at Howley Hall. Just hit a couple of tee shots up here, so hopefully I'll be within hybrid range of the green. It's pretty cold, as you can imagine. It says it's 2 degrees, it feels a lot colder than that, but I'm doing this for you. You know, I want you to see exactly how these clubs perform, so hopefully you'll appreciate the lengths I've gone to get out here and show you them. So let's hit a few shots and see how they go. So I've just hit a couple with each of the hybrids. Again, loved hitting them from someone who doesn't really like hybrids anyway. I mean, I hit the Apex Pro. I mean, that sounded like a bullet when I've hit that. It's just come off like a rocket. 4 pretty decent shots. With the standard Apex, I mean, I've hit, the first one was a little bit toey, a little bit of a draw kind of shape on it. But it's ended up, I can just see it now, it's just on the front of the green, which isn't too bad. And the other one, I just pushed it a little bit to the right, and it's just short of the front right bunker. But yeah, felt great. A bit higher flight than Apex Pro, but kind of what you expect. Just make sure I don't fall over on this ice. But yeah, when I get up here and have a look at where I've hit the ones with Apex Pro. So first one, I've absolutely ripped it, and I can see it's just gone off the back of the green. So to put this into context, I had it was 220 to the front edge, and it's like I say, it's 2 degrees, or it says it's 2 degrees. It feels like about -5. So I wasn't expecting it to probably fly all the way, but I can see, you know, where the 2 I've hit with the Apex have landed, and then the Apex Pro, the first one, like I say, I've ripped it, and it's just through the back of the green there. So the second one I hit, just pushed it a little bit again, but again, it's pretty much made the distance. It's level with this greenside bunker on the right hand side. So yeah, pretty decent results with both of them. But like I say, that Pro one just feels so good. It's kind of making me think about whether I have a bit of a look at something like this season. Just make that top end of the bag a little bit easier to use. You know, maybe the 3-iron's got to go, and maybe a 3 hybrid go in there instead, who knows. So there we have it. It was a pretty good test of both of those hybrids now, both on the Trackman in the Performance Centre and also out here on the golf course, albeit in not the most ideal setting and conditions. But yeah, I was quite surprised actually getting to that green from where I was. I thought they were all going to be short in that ditch, but yeah, particularly the Apex Pro, when I've hit that, the sound, the feel, and the ball flight, for someone like me who's always used long irons rather than a hybrid, it's really got me thinking about whether that's something I need to add to my bag. Now, are you that type of player? Are you someone who's maybe thinking about ditching the long irons for the first time and maybe getting a hybrid to replace it? Put it in the comment section below. If you are, ask us some questions about them as well. The standard Apex one was really good as well. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. It's obviously a much bigger footprint, easy to get the ball in the air, and a bit more forgiving. As I've seen now, I mean, I towed that first one quite badly, and it still got up there towards the green and a decent distance. So, you know, to me, that's showing me that the blades in behind the face, the jailbreak blades, are actually working and doing what they say they're supposed to, because that was not a good strike, and I was expecting it to be quite a way short. But yeah, it's been great fun getting out and testing them, but I can't wait to get back inside and get the feeling back in my fingers. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all very, very soon.